the first thing that we're going to do today is to put just a little frou-frou cosmetic work. I've got a 2004 R32 that I bought new, and I've kept her pretty nice, but I got a set of these Maxton side skirts here recently, so it's a little trim. These ones go on the back, but I'm going to be attaching those today, so I put on the 3M body molding tape, decided to go that route. And then in addition to the 3M body molding tape, I am going to secure it with screws. Not going to be using the self-tapping screws that were provided by Maxton, as they have very strange heads on them, and that will make for being problematic to remove if I need to, or if I decide that I want to do a carbon fiber wrap on these, which is frankly pretty likely. So the other thing I'm going to do is paint my front chin spoiler. I have had a Fiat Mk4 R lip on the R32 since 2004, and it's been hanging in there. It's basically been the sacrificial goat or sacrificial lamb to take all the abuse from scrapes and curbs and driveways and stuff, so that my actual bumper does not get damaged. So it's been holding up. Still got the same one on there. Haven't had to replace it, but you know, it's that ABS plastic, and it could use a little love. So I'm going to go ahead and paint that gloss black to match the Maxton side skirts that are going around the rest of the car. And so I'm going to mask off the car and just paint it where it's at, and be done with that. I'm not worried about perfect paint job, because it's on the front end of the car. It's going to get rock chips. It's going to get scraped. It's okay. It's going to have a little bit of a textured look to it anyways, so it's going to be fine. So I'm going to get to that first. And let's see, is there anything else I was going to get to today? I think that's enough to keep me busy for one day. So between those two things, we've got some footage to film, and then we'll see where we land there. Anyway, let's get to it. So, got the front end of the R32 masked off, because I am going to paint that lower Mk4 R spoiler in place. And folks might ask, well, why? I'm like, well, I've got the back end of the car jacked up so that I can install those Maxton side skirts, and I figured it would be easy enough to just mask it off and take care of this. And besides, the thing's been on there for 15 years. Who knows what damage it might be hiding, and I don't really feel like finding more stuff to fix today. So I'm going to paint it where it sits. And on the back end of the car, I'm also going to be hitting the exhaust with a little bit of high temperature grill paint, just to protect that. I didn't like the shiny stuff showing through the vents in the back bumper, so I blacked that out years ago with grill paint, and it's starting to wear out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that again. I already hit it with a little bit of rust reformer from Permatex. Highly recommend that stuff, especially if you live in a place where it snows and they put the nasty chemicals on the ground. So the R32 saw 2 winters in Indiana. I did religiously clean it off every week underneath, but still just a little bit of rust poking around there. And I'm going to go ahead and I already killed that with the rust treatment, and I'm going to go ahead and protect it now with the grill paint. Anyway, we're going to get to this. So we go back here, we're going to start with this. So you see underneath here, a little bit of nastiness in the center of the muffler. So I hit it with the rust treatment, and I also hit it with a little bit of Brillo pad just to get the extra stuff off there, and then hit it with rust treatment again. So I'm going to go ahead and coat it with the grill paint now and hit some of these other areas as well. And I'm not going to put the camera by here since I'm painting. I don't want to get any on the lens. All right, hit that with some paint. It needs to dry. It's going to dry flat, so a little bit of it is not dry yet, but already that's looking a ton better under there. Probably hit it with a second coat just to make sure it seals up, but yeah, there we go. Of course, it seems I picked the windiest day we've had in a while to come out here and paint, so have to be careful and do some light coats, watch my spray pattern, and but anyway, this should take it fairly well. So you can see how scratched up it is. It's had a lot of abuse over the years, and make it look a little bit better now. While I was doing this, I also decided to take the opportunity to paint the grills as well, so they'd match with the gloss black. So I've got the side grills there, and the main front grill over here drying, and I've got one coat that has gone onto the spoiler so far. Well, you can definitely see the wear in the spoiler, and you know, a little bit of paint isn't going to fix that. I would have to sand it all out, but again, this thing is sacrificial. It gets scraped and scratched, and I'm not sure how long this gloss paint would last anyway, but we're going to give it a couple of coats and see how it does. Alright, it's time to turn our attention to these Maxton side skirts, and I have already cleaned underneath there, so I'm going to give it one last wipe before we use the 3M body molding tape to do the initial mount, and then after that we will drill pilot holes and put in some screws to hold them. And I know people are getting horrified that I'm using screws, but I don't know, even though body molding tape is pretty heavy duty, I don't really trust it to hold entirely down here, so we'll see. But yeah, a couple of screws just to secure it at one end or the other. I'll use these convenient tabs back here so that I'm not doing damage to some visible part of the factory side skirts, which I realize are no longer available and very, very rare. So if you have any issues, good luck. So gonna get going on this. All right, so let's see. And we're gonna do one last cleaning off of any dust. I already cleaned with degreaser and Windex, and then came back with some alcohol just to be sure. So it should hold just fine when we mount these. start with the centerpiece on this one. And it is supposed to just fit like so. And I think I'm going to do, should be able to eyeball it from here in terms of lining it up. Yeah. So this shouldn't be too hard. The viewers scoff. Yes. Go ahead and scoff. We'll see. So again, I don't want to have it grip before I've got it lined up. I'm going to try to line that front edge up on both sides with where it wants to live. Alright. Well, that was way easier than the side skirts. Of course, it was, you know, right in front of my face. So I'm gonna do the side corner ones as well. Hopefully they go on as quickly. Alright, take a look at my handiwork here. There we go. Definitely adds a little bit more aggressive touch back there. And I'm going to go ahead and get the screws and secure this one, and then I'll go ahead and do the other side and try to get the other side more lined up than the first one, which I'm going to have to fix later on. All right, mischief managed. I actually got everything done today, and while the car is a little dirty, she hasn't been out to play in a while, the front painted grille and the side skirts, I think, really came together nicely. I did end up taking that one off and replacing it in the proper configuration. The back came together really nice. So it adds just a little bit of depth to the car, makes it feel just a little, or look a little bit more aggressive than it previously did. I am very happy with how this turned out, and I can tell that those things are going to collect a lot of dirt every time I drive, so I'm going to have to wipe them off. But since there's a glossy surface, they should wipe off pretty easily. Very happy with that. And looks like the next thing I need to do on my R32 is replace the Laminex covers on the headlights. You can tell they're getting pretty dingy looking, and this is a great 30 bucks. You get it from Laminex and you replace it every couple of years, and it protects your glass headlight lenses. I do have E-code glass lenses on my projectors. So anyway, mischief managed. Yeah. Let me know what you think. You know, I know that everybody's tastes are a little different, but I do like the black look, and I think the black fits well with the blue fairly well. So now I think I'm gonna go enjoy driving her. And you know, I'm not too far because, you know, coronavirus and lockdown and all that, but I think it's a good day for a drive. It's Friday afternoon, it's not much traffic. I got the highway right next to me. Take a little spin. All right, let's take her out for a little bit, at least around the property. And that is one of the Matthew Litke color MFAs I have installed on here, so it does do a whole lot of different features and functions compared to the stock one. Definitely one of the better upgrades I have done on this car. Highly recommended. And yeah, very, very fun. So I'm going to put it back to miles an hour and let's hear that Wookiee motor. Yes, fun. All right. Oh, I'm next to a wall conveniently. Let's hear that now. Yes, fun. All right, going for a drive.